Miller, Hrgovic, Anthony Joshua, they've all held on to that beliefs, but they were shocked when they get in there with Daniel. When Daniel starts to put hands on you, okay, then all the aspiration you have always evaporates. Yeah.
We are here. I'm joined by one of my favourite people in boxing, and I will say.
Oh, thank you. No. We've got a different relationship. Yeah, you're the one that made me cry once. Remember?
And you're the one that got me backstage access when I couldn't.
Okay.
So it works both ways.
Yeah.
We help each other. Don, it's a pleasure to be joined by you ahead of this heavyweight clash, a great clash, a clash of styles. Not similar, not familiar, but I still think it makes for a great fight.
Yes, it does.
I'm going to go just a little bit back to the beginning, because the last time I spoke to you, I came to your gym. It was all comfy, cosy. Young Dubois decided to leave for a bit, but then he came back. He came back home. I'll look at it.
Correct.
How has that been since he's been back? Can you talk about the training and the preparation for Saturday night?
Yeah, like you said, we had a little break and he came back home. And if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. So we merely just continued where we left off. And it's just been, we know each other. The trust has always been there. The trust is even greater. So it's business as usual. And we're being awarded, or presented, should I say, with this glorious opportunity for Daniel to become a two-time world champion.
What I will say, Daniel, I've watched him since the beginning, basically. I was even saying to Frank, he was there from his debut, always promoted him, win, lose, whatever it was. Frank Warren and stuck by him. A little bit like yourself, I was looking at this fight with these two, and I thought, okay, they're both tough. We know they're both tough. But I see, and this is my opinion, and this is where you can chop me down, Don. I see that Fabio has that, not the killer instinct, because we know Dubois got it as well, Don's got that. But Fabio is more, and I would say, mentally stronger when things are not going his way. We've seen how Fabio fights. He's down on the cards. You're thinking, what's going to happen? He's going to lose. Is he going to get stopped? And then out of somewhere, he finds that strength to come back. Now, we have seen Daniel in similar predicaments, but it's almost like sometimes he's looked for a way out. What would you say to that, and how would you rebut that? Tell me that I'm wrong.
No, your observation is, when I say regarding Fabio, is spot on. He shows he has the grit when the going gets tough. He's able to grind it out. Yes, he's shown that. And Daniel has, on occasions, where what it appears is not what it is. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to elaborate on that. How it appears is not how it really is. There's a reason for all that. Okay, doesn't make him less tough than Fabio. No, it doesn't. Yeah, I've seen enough. I know enough about this individual. Like I said, I'm not going to expand or elaborate on that. One day it will all be revealed, okay? So, and people seem to draw confidence from that. The oppositions have, and a lot of them have tried, and a lot of them have failed miserably based on the same findings, their observations. And he's about to demonstrate that on Saturday, Daniel Dubois, that he's what they say, he finds a way out. No. Okay, so that's my take on it.
Do you think that Fabio's underestimated him as well? Or maybe he's into that and feeling that, okay, I'm going to have a better hand because of, people like myself, because of our presumptions?
Yeah, I mean, listen, whatever he wants to hang on to. Like I said, the previous opponents have all held on to that belief. Names like Miller, Hrgovic, Anthony Joshua, they've all held on to that belief, but they were shocked when they get in there with Daniel. When Daniel starts to put hands on you, okay, then all the aspiration you have always evaporates. And Fabio's going to be no different once Daniel starts touching him.
We've seen some of the interviews, and to be fair, and I do agree with Daniel with this. I know I've spoke to Daniel a couple of times, and I know he's quite he's antisocial. Yeah, he doesn't really want to speak to everybody. Just he's focused on the job.
Yeah, he's a fighter.
So
And
how? I mean, he's done a few interviews. Apparently, he's walked out of a couple. I haven't watched it.
and you have to ask yourself why.
Well, this
You
is
know,
the question.
don't ask stupid questions. Not you. I'm not directly.
Yeah.
I'm talking generally. People ask him stupid questions. He doesn't. He's not obligated to answer them. Yeah. So yeah, when you watch it, have your own take on it.
Yeah, I will. But I've always had Daniel down as somebody, you know, a man of a few words, but he's sort of like all about the job that he's got to do, not necessarily
Yeah.
talking about
Correct,
it.
correct.
It took a while for him to even sit up at
Yeah,
these tables
yeah.
and crack the jokes. I'm your daddy now. and
Correct.
Standing up to Anthony Joshua and saying,
Yeah.
I ain't scared of you.
Absolutely.
Seeing the change in him. So when it's like, I knew from when I seen the media day, and I thought he's not gonna like this,
That's not his thing.
you know. And I think one of the boxing media says, I think it was Rob Tebbett's, a shout out to him. He said, I can't wait till somebody just asks him the wrong questions again. He just rips their arms off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not for him. It's not for the talking. He's getting better, like you quite rightly said. Over the years, he's getting used to, you know, the media side of things. But really and truly, is a throwback, real, authentic, raw fighter. He just wants to fight.
We are looking forward to that fight on Saturday. It's just going to go one or two ways. I don't see it going to points. I don't see it lasting the full 12 rounds. I do see a stoppage. For who that gets that stoppage, who knows? You're going to back your guy. So when you look at Fabio, when you look at your guy, Daniel, what makes you really confident that Daniel will put that off, no matter what pressure Fabio tries to put on Daniel? When we talk about pressure, I'm talking about potentially mental pressure when he does hit him with them hard shots. Is he going to be able to take it? If he does and it stands there, how's Daniel going to react to that?
Like how he's reacted in the past. He's faced tough moments during the Miller fight, during the Hrgovic fight. We limited Anthony Joshua to one significant right hand. It's supposed to be a mismatch between him. They weren't wrong because there was a mismatch in our favor. So, you know, they can talk. How's Fabio going to react is my question when Daniel starts putting hands on him. That's the question they should be really asking themselves. Yeah, we're backing our guys, our guy, obviously. We know what Daniel can do and what Daniel has already done. Okay? We've taken Fabio seriously. We have to take him seriously. Like I said, what he's already achieved, Fabio, is remarkable, considering the background, his entrance to professional boxing. We've recognized and acknowledged that, and we respect that. But we're sure of our guy that he's going to do the business.
Don, can I ask you something personally then? And this is just about you as a person. The kindness that you've got as a person, I've even posted about it. I said, you're better than me. Because when somebody walks away, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
What kind of heart, and fair enough, you might bring blood into it, whatever the reason is, but
that is a big part.
What kind of person does that mature person for you can have somebody that walks away and comes back?
Yeah.
Derek Chisholm was the first one.
Yeah, three times. Yeah, yeah.
Door.
All right. Okay, let me give it to you. I won't make it too long. Part of the reason that how dare I reject or refuse, I'm not privileged like others. We don't get many chances like others. So how dare I'm not in a position to make a decision where I'm going to reject that opportunity. I'm not privileged. I'm not in that position. And I can't afford to say no to such an opportunity. So I embraced it and I feel blessed and I'm ecstatic, really happy that he came back home.
Yeah, I definitely know that because I know you treat your fighters like you treat your children.
Yeah.
I know how you are with George.
Yeah.
It's how you are with Derek.
Yeah.
It's how you are with Daniel.
Jordan Thompson, all my fighters are my children.
I see that.
Yeah.
No one can never argue with that. But you've got another fighter, Tony Yoka.
Correct.
Has joined your camp. How's he getting on? And I remember him being with like Virgil Hunter,
Yeah.
screaming at him in the Bacolia fight,
Yeah.
like, what's going on? How can you pick up what you can potentially... Don, you're going to have to try and pick this up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right, Danny.
Tony Yoka, that's where we start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don, we're going to just quickly finish off because I know that you've got to get off. Right, we were talking quickly. In fact, sum up that press conference. Finish with Tony Yoka. One more question, then I'll let you escape. Tony Yoka.
Yeah, Tony, as you know, was working with Virgil, the great Virgil Hunter. We've got a really good relationship. And he reached out to me 2 years ago, Tony, because America was too far. He's got a family, as you know, in France. He's got young children, and he was finding it hard, the distance between him, and that was the main factor, him returning back to Europe. When he got back to Europe, he wanted to come to Britain where all the action is. And he had 3 coaches in mind that he wanted to work with. I was one of them. In fact, he never got the opportunity to see the other 2 because I was fortunate enough that he came to me first. After our first meeting, we both ended up, as you know, I'm very emotional. We both ended up in each other's shoulders, 2 big men crying, hugging each other because he told me his story, which really touched me. And I bought into his concepts. And again, I've adopted another son, yet again another son in the boxing industry, and he's an Olympic gold medalist, super heavyweight, and they're very rare commodity. And God willing, we're doing everything to make sure he falls into the bracket of the 98% that has won super heavyweight gold who went and became world champions. There's only ever been 2% who didn't. And I said to Tony in the first meeting, he wasn't aware of those stats. I said to him, which part do you want to be, a part of the 2% or part of the 98%? He said, of course I want to. So we're going to do something about it. So that's where we are today.
The fact I like about when you took Tony on, you didn't rush him out into a fight. It's almost like you had to say, okay, we're going to peel back some stuff. We're going to start training again. It wasn't like, I've got Tony Yoka. He was with Virgil Hunter.
No.
Let me just throw him into fights.
No.
I saw him turning up to press conferences with you for a while.
Correct.
Before
going
out to fight.
Yeah, first thing I did was take him to Frank Warren to acquaint him. Frank wanted to sign him after the Olympics, but his representatives shied away. They didn't come to Frank. Frank was interested in signing. Who wouldn't be? So Frank obviously does what Frank does, and for the last 2 years, he's been building strategically, giving us the right fight to build his confidence back. And we're really happy mentally where he is. And boxing, he can box. We just had to do some work with his mind, and he's got his mojo back.
Speaking about minds, listen, look, as humans, as we're humans, sometimes I think we take the human side away from fighters. I think we think they're just these gladiators that go in the ring, almost like robots, have a fight, go home, and nothing matters.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like mental health, stress, pressure, home life, just to name a few of it, that these fighters have to get prepared for every time they put themselves through their grueling camps to get ready to fight. It's not just about fighting, is it, Don?
No, it's beyond fighting, like you quite rightly pointed out. There's so many areas that you need to work on, and as a collective, to get them in the right frame of mind to then to be able to go and get in the ring to fight. You know, there's so many other areas, and because of my age and experience, I'm able to recognize and then address all these other parts. And the audience only see the fighter turn up on the night and fight, but there's so many other things within their life that they have to get right. Like I said, to get them in the right frame of mind to be able to compete.
Well, Tony Yoka was obviously supposed to fight Lawrence Okolie. I don't need to go over that. I'm sure you spoke about it 1,000 times. I saw that him and Solomon Dakers, there was like, I'll fight you. Let's have that, whatever. And that never came to pass. Any reason why that fight didn't come to pass? Because I was expecting to see both Solomon and Tony potentially on this card this week. They're both ready.
Yeah, as you know, I'm everything. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a promoter. The promoter knows best how to. That's Frank's division. Frank Warren, as a promoter, we trust him. I've worked with Frank for the last 25 years, as long as I've been in the industry, and he knows best how to strategically move these guys around to get them the right fights at the right time.
So when do you think we can see Tony?
I believe Tony potentially is on the Doncaster card, on the Dave Allen Hrgovic.
Oh, fantastic.
Which is next week, a week Saturday. Yeah,
Okay, so
he's got a tune-up fight. Then after that, every fight is a serious fight, irrespective of the level of the opposition. Once he comes through that, they're going to keep him busy, Tony.
We can appreciate that. Now, just the press conference, how did you find it up there? This is it now. There's no more talking.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow we've got the weigh-in, but that's it now. The talking's over. How did you find it up there, Don?
Yeah, it was quite a strange one. It was pretty slow start, and then it kicked off between Sam and Michael. Yeah, you need a bit of that. That's the industry we're in. And but like you said, all the talk is done. The fighters didn't really say much, because they're the ones, when all is said and done, they're the two individuals that get in. I step outside the ring, so does Sam Jones, so does Michael. Yeah, the fighters are there alone with the referee. So no matter what's said on the press conference, you can't take too much out of it, because at the end of the day, when that bell rings, there's only the two fighters in the ring.
Ricky Hatton, I want to leave this conversation on the last note. Ricky Hatton, unfortunately, passed away via suicide. We think about men, we think about mental health in boxing, we think about those problems. When you think about somebody like Ricky Hatton, I'm asking you this, Don, because there's been a foundation set up for like men's mental health, suicide awareness in honour of Ricky Hatton. They've got a party, because Ricky Hatton liked to party, on June the 6th, that's coming up, where there'll be some fighters, ex-fighters, lots going on there. But when you think about a fighter like Ricky Hatton and you think about mental health, can you give us a few words on what you think about that and how it's beneficial for men, for everybody, to look after their mental health?
Yeah, most definitely. It's a problem. I can consider it a problem, because it is a problem that really needs to be looked at closely. There should be more things in place to help boxers. Retired boxers, current boxers, and future boxers. Yeah, it's something, and for coaches as well. We go through. When we lose fights, I go to dark places, and we need to. There's something needs to be put in place to deal with such matters. When you got someone who's going to go down as a generational great in the name of Tyson Fury, he too has meant so. These guys are crying out for help. Something should be in place, and it should be compulsory to where you can go and get help. And it's something I want to get behind with the board to be able to introduce such a thing. It should really be there, available for boxers.
Brilliant. Well,
and coaches.
Well, yeah, people in general. But Ricky Hatton, there is a charity being set up in honour of him.
That's awesome. That's all, and anything, I'm going to find out more about it, and any role I can play to support it, I will.
That's absolutely fantastic. Listen, Don, thank you always for your time. It's an absolute pleasure to speak to you. Thank you for always being one of the kinder people to me in boxing. That doesn't go unnoticed. And all the best.
Don't set me off again.
No, I'm just going to